A warm welcome to you all. Thank you for joining us this evening. We're in for a great show with three amazing guests. So grab one of those cocktails because tonight I think is going to not only inspire you, but really give you food for thought. I was given a great statement that changed my life years ago when somebody said to me, design your lifestyle first and reverse your career into it. Wow. Design your lifestyle first and reverse your career into it. Tonight's presentation is so fascinating because Artists on Go is a wonderful company that is not only empowering the individual stylist, but also supporting the salon owner. And at a time like this where we're saying, how do I reinvent myself? Where do I go? What do I do? I think you're going to find from our guests tremendous inspiration as we explore career choices, how we build our destiny, and how we create our own magic and we take responsibility for our own lives. So I am thrilled to have these amazing men, which I'm going to introduce. But before I bring on my guests, let's just check out this really cool video.
Now, with a platform like Artists on Go, it's like $20 to rent your chair an hour. This is incredible.
I can never imagine not using Artists on Go. I'm being able to come in when I want.
Get new clients, and those clients may not be in your city.
And that's why I'm so excited that Artists on Go is here for us so we can continue to grow our business.
Are you ready? So let's bring in my fabulous guest, and I'd love to welcome DM. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Vivienne. How are you?
I'm good, and I want to say your name because it's a beautiful name, Dharmendra Mahwani. Did I really screw that up?
No, you did very well. Perfect. 10 out of 10.
So I'm sure that you.
I'm sure a lot of people cannot pronounce it. You got it done right.
Well, I'm thrilled that you're here. So let's immediately jump into our subject before we bring in our other guests. You got this brilliant idea to create Artists on Go. So tell me a little bit about your background, and then kind of let's transition into this project that you're working on now. So how did you start off in the industry?
Sure. So I was running, just like all of you, a salon. The only difference was I was running 350 salons worldwide. And 8 years back, we saw a major shift in the industry. We love this industry, and we saw that a lot of clients who were coming from brand chains or salons, they were shifting and trying to engage more and more with the hairstylist. And at some point, we just realized that 80% of our business is actually driven by these creative stylists, not by just one brand name on the door. And I was working with more than 10,000 hairstylists across the world in France, in US, India, South America, everywhere, you can ask me. And one common sentiment which I realized every hairstylist had, and they wanted to enjoy and feel their creative freedom. They wanted to put the paint and the picture, whatever they had in their mind. But the industry was trying to clip their flexibility and freedom by putting their schedules and follow other people's rules and choose the product which other people choose for you. So in reality, I just felt like a lot of hairstylists were looking for building their own brand and enjoy their flexibility and do what they wanted to do. What was stopping them was really for these creative people that they didn't have any space, any salons and operating experience. And I was running salons and we had a lot of excess capacity. And that's where we just realized that if I have to do something beyond making money good for the industry, is liberalize these millions of stylists, tattoo artists, and other people who have their creativity, and they can just now, I can provide them a space to work and paint or work just for like $20 or $25. one client at a time. And that's how then I met my co-founder who has built companies, big companies doing all this in technology. And that's how we launched Artist on Go. So yeah, we are very excited to help millions of hairstylists.
So walk me through the protocol of, I'm sure there are many people listening that are either a salon owner and thinking, gosh, I need help. And I'm sure there are many stylists thinking, yes, I would like to have my freedom. I'm sure there are people watching who do freelance work, who do educational work, and they're not always in the salon. And there are those that just want to be more flexible by going from uptown to downtown and cruising around New York. So I'm sure there are many different profiles, plus mothers who don't want to make that commitment to a full-time 5-day. They want their flexibility so that they can support their family. So tell me about the whole protocol as to how this works.
Sure. So just salon owners, I can empathize how you run the salon because I was a salon owner. And we all know that everything to run a salon is a challenge. Finding people to work there, paying the rent on time, payroll taxes, and finding a client for the staff. I was tired as well and doing a lot of tasks. And the end of the day, I had 22 chair salons, hundreds of salons like that. And every salon was like 5, 6, 7 chairs filled up. And other chairs were just getting wasted and nothing was done. And I was paying rent for that. And now with Artist on Go, what we just realized that how do we put extra money in the pocket of salon owners so they can, there's no work for them, but they can actually make additional income without doing any work. And this was the perfect because I started renting my own salon chairs when I was running in Soho, when I was running in France, when I was running in India. And what was there is that artists will come, they will pay on Artist on Go $20, $25 per hour, and they will come with their client, they use the chair, they will greet and be part of your community and culture in that salon. And they clean the place and they leave with a great experience. But also what they do in the whole process is that they introduce your salon to their clients. So if I'm doing a haircut, but now your client sees that you also provide other services like blowouts and pedicure and manicure, we started seeing that a lot of clients will go back to the same salon. So you're actually indirectly building clientele for these salons and also paying the rent, which is very handsome. We realized that 3 or 4 chairs rented through our platform can actually pay your full month or more on a monthly basis. It's not a bad deal for a salon owner. For hairstylists, it's very simple. Clients believe and trust in your skills and your work. They love you and they want to follow you. And you can conveniently now, rather than going to their home or working at one place, you can choose your own hours and work directly with them and add money to the pocket of salon owners, but also make 3 times more money because now you're dealing directly with the client. And you can make a lot more decisions.
Yes. Well, the thing I love about Artists on the Go is, Artists on Go. I keep putting the in there, but it's not that. What I like is that you are not only offering a platform for the independent, but you're also supporting the salon owner. And I think that is a huge thing. And it's very unique. And you're pioneering it here in New York. So let's bring in Gregory. And he is actually, hi, Gregory.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm good. I love this gentleman's energy. So Gregory is also an artist who is working with Artists on the Go. I said it again. Artists on Go. Oh. So first of all, Gregory, let's hear a little bit about your backstory in the industry.
Sure. So I've been a hairdresser for almost 15 years now. I started the day I graduated beauty school. I literally had my car packed and went to LA, right? So I worked in LA for quite a bit, did my apprenticeship there. And fortunately, I was able to apprentice with 2 of my hair heroes. Like I always reference them daily in my work. So I had a beautiful experience with them. I moved back to Arizona and was working between Arizona, San Francisco, and LA. And then a few years later, I was recruited to New York to work for a really big salon at 5th and 23rd. And I worked there for a little bit, and I learned a lot from that salon, and I learned when to make a move. So I moved to another salon downtown, 14th and 8th, quickly became like the creative director and educational director there, helped them develop 34 SKUs of a hair care brand, launched it in Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and Norway on HSN, went on QVC, done infomercials, do ton of celebrity, Met Gala, just a little bit of everything, and created my own like blow dry education. And I've taught my blow dry classes all throughout like Dubai and Cape Town, South Africa, and Stockholm and Thailand, and just have had a cool career. But when I found Artists on Go, when I saw the video with Wendy Isles, actually, oh, I forgot, I was also the lead hairstylist on Project Runway for many years. Like, that was a little blessing for me. But when I found Artists on Go, so doing all that stuff, I lost my clientele because I wasn't able to stay in a salon because I was traveling so often. And unfortunately, Vivienne, like, 8 years of freelance now, I have zero clientele. And that's really, really frightening. And I'm a hairdresser that started behind the chair, and that's where my blood boils, behind the chair. And so when I started freelancing, it was one or the other. You either freelance and that's it, or you stay in the salon and that's it. And that just like never resonated with my soul. I wanted more. Like, we're in the best industry in the world that's ever changing, and we get to do whatever we want to do all the time. And so for somebody to say you got to choose one, it's like choosing between balayage and like foil highlights your whole life. It's like, no, I can't. So
and Gregory, I
yeah.
relate to that, Gregory, because
Yeah.
I was in exactly the same place, and it was pick A or B, and I found that was very stifling because there was no other choice. And so what I would do is, I have lots of friends in New York. I would say, do you mind if I just take care of a few clients in your salon? And then they'd be, yeah, Viv, it's great to have you come in. And I always felt a little bit guilty because I'm going in there and I was not a friend. Hi, do you mind if I take a few clients? And I always felt like I was like, shouldn't really be there, but they were so gracious. But I was very privileged to have that, which is, this didn't exist back then. So carry on, please.
Could you imagine if this existed? Like, so when I saw Wendy's video, so Wendy and I met on the set of Project Runway, and she and I have become friends. I love her hair care brand. And when I saw her video scrolling through Instagram, which I love the power of connectivity through social media, especially during this time, because it brought me the awareness of Artists on Go. Once I started researching through their Instagram, what is this? I have chills right now because I'm like, wait a minute, somebody is listening to my heart's desire of, I want to work in the salon and I want to do freelance. Like, why can't I do both? You know what I mean? And so when I had my first appointment booked with Artists on Go, Vivienne, to shampoo a guest in a real shampoo chair, it was the highlight of my day. I'm like, oh, I love the scalp massage. I felt, not only professional, like the utmost professional, but I was around other artists, and just seeing other artists work and being inspired by that line in the back that's so perfect. I keep getting chills. I was just like, okay, finally I'm able to do what I want to do in this career. And that's everything.
That's so funny because when I was doing a lot of editorial work, whether it be on location or in some strange room somewhere, I remember exactly the same thing, just the thrill of, I'm in a salon. There are mirrors. There's electricity.
Folding towels. You're like, yes, cutting foils. It just feels so good to be in that environment. And fortunately, with Artists on Go, you don't have to pick one or the other right now, which is amazing.
That's incredible. So let me bring Robert Evans Thomas into the picture. Look at this gorgeous man who got us up specially for you. Welcome,
Vivienne,
Robert.
Thank you. And let me say, I feel so honored to be in the presence of all of this magical energy and to be a part of what has become a phenomenal opportunity for me. So I got that out.
Good. So Robert, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got, to where you are right now.
Okay, well, with a lot of hard work and a lot of years involved, I started out in Texas. And from Texas, I realized that I had done as much as I could do there. I'd worked with people who were just phenomenal individuals, politicians, and that sort of propelled me to understand that everything is a medium that leads and guides you to other opportunities. So I had a friend who moved to New York City, and he said, come and spend the weekend with me and let's just sort of explore and see what the opportunities are. Well, during the course of that weekend, I put a down payment on an apartment and I moved the very next week. That being said, for me, I have been showcased and thrilled with so many opportunities, from corporate positions to first ladies to celebrities. And it's taken me so many unbelievable places in the world that sometimes the little boy from Louisiana stops and pinches himself and says, what happened here? How did I end up here? And I oftentimes check to see if I'm wearing red shoes, because maybe I was in a tornado that just led me somewhere. That being said, I am currently in a place where I'm excited about this texture. I studied in Brazil, 22 cities, and in the favelas, some of the most incredible things I have ever witnessed in my life encouraged and opened my mind to really sort of bear down on the idea of texture. And where we are now is an exciting forum, because with the influx of everything happening in our industry, texture and curl has now become the radiant product development that is going to keep our careers exploding and expanding for quite a long time. And I'm very excited about that, because I have partnered with Wedad, and what I love about them is the product is an internal resolution to the external challenge. And I get to take people through the experience of that. And
I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it tonight.
That's amazing.
And have people really understand what it means to be supported from the internal structure, so that when you step out into the elements, you're not surprised or challenged by what happens beyond that front door. So that's where I am right now.
I'm a witness to that, because if I was a frog, I would be really happy with this climate right now, because the humidity level
it's out of control.
Is out of control. And Vivienne has very soft hair that likes to curl and now frizz. And so I do have the smoothing serum in my hair.
Oh, awesome.
And the hairspray really acts like a raincoat. And it is a great barrier. I love it. It's a great product. So thank you.
Absolutely. I'm excited because we have a lot of great new things coming out, and we'll talk about those further. But let's get into this, because I am excited to be a part of this platform, because for me, being a person who's constantly on the go, and when I'm in the environment of my work experience, I'm always under the spotlight as the leader who has to do this or be this sort of individual, and I never really get to be the artist. Well, I have clients that love to be serviced, who come in from different places in the world, Iceland, Hawaii, because, you know, curl is king, and they find you. So being in a position where I can go and service those clients in a space where it allows me to be complete in my creativity and celebrated around other artists that I'm feeling all of this energy surge from is amazing to me. It gratifies my spirit in such a way where I'm elevated on a level where it takes me beyond words most of the time. And that's a rare thing.
Well, thank you. And for our friends who are just joining us, we are talking about Artists on Go, and it is an incredible platform that gives freedom to the independent artists to be able to go into a salon, whether it be for the hour or 2 hours, and you literally book your time in that salon, and you have the freedom to go from different salons that are part of the group. And it's an amazing support system for the independent, for the freelance, for the editorial guys, and for that busy mum out there. And it's also amazing support to the salon owner to be able to say, you know, I do have 5 chairs that are empty and now I can fill those chairs. So it is a total win-win situation. So I would like to ask you, Robert, why did you choose this platform versus, say, for example, going to a booth situation or independent suite?
I tried booth situations, Vivienne, and for me the challenge was, being a person who travels as much as I do, I was spending an enormous amount of money renting that chair weekly or monthly, and I was absent. So this is a platform that provides a residence where I can get my clients in the experience of being in a fabulous situation where the experience cultivates what I do. And what I do is I don't sell myself as a haircut. I sell myself as an experience. So I want to have that as a support system to be able to give my clients in their experiences.
Absolutely. And Gregory, for you, did you face any obstacles as you transitioned into this new world?
Of course. I mean, the first obstacle that popped up was fear. You know what I mean? Because as a freelance artist, where is my next paycheck coming from? You know, and will it be net 30, net 60, net 90, or net 2 years from now? So that's really scary and frightening. And I can't, you know, in this time right now, it would be even more frightening to make that jump. So my biggest obstacle was fear, and can I do it? Can I sustain a living? And that's why, with the addition, like, to me, Artists on Go is an addition to the opportunities that I have that allow me 100% freedom. And what is vital to me is I get 100% of my commission when I do the work. And that's really important to me right now because, you know, I've always wondered, like, why I spend all these years apprenticing and making perfect folds on foils and taking off angles the wrong way and watching all the hair fall in the lap, you know, taking the tip off of a gentleman's ear that was a diplomat from Mexico City and being like, oh, like all of that hard-earned work and knowledge and information. And I have to give you 70% of that. And you're not even a hairdresser, you're a salon owner who's a business person. Like, that just never sat in my heart really well. And so now the experience that I have to not only do freelance, and if I am net 30 or net 60 with a paycheck that's out there, I have the opportunity on my days off to book the salon, no contract, no commitment. If I want 4 hours, I do 4 hours. And like you said, if I want to go uptown and book a day uptown and take care of all of my guests up there, no problem. I don't have to spend money on Ubers, running around the city, toting my cart in this humidity. Like, I would have quit today. I would have been like, I'm done. Hair's curly. I'm going to Robert's chair. Give me a do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
needed an opportunity to make money now and supplement those days that, you know, I was waiting for a paycheck. But to answer your original question, fear was my biggest challenge that I was up against when making the commitment to jump.
Yes. And DM, one of the things that's impressed me is your team in terms of how you are promoting the artists, the support, the education that you're offering. And I find that very exciting and very refreshing. So tell us a little bit about, if somebody is going to be brave and take the jump like Gregory and Robert have, what kind of support are they going to get beyond the fact that, yes, they can go into a salon and they can rent that chair for a few hours or whatever that may be? What else do they get?
Yeah, so I mean, our thought process, we see a trend that every hairstylist is born with the skills, creativity, and our job is to kind of fuel it and support them operationally. So you, with Artist on Go platform, not only you get the space to rent as a salon, which you can use it permanently one place, but if you need education, so we are partnered with Vivienne or other educators, but Vivienne alone is such a big, I mean, you need to take multiple sessions to learn that craft. So if it's education, partners like Vivienne. If you want insurance, then we have partners for that. If you want to purchase product at a cheaper price, which salon chains do. So we kind of support you at different things. So you don't have to worry about how I can run my independent business. We realize two things. You have creativity, and we don't want you to waste time on operations and let you down with operational thing and compromise on your creativity. We want to fuel it because the world needs your creativity. That's the most important. If you don't fuel that, there's no replacement of that because you're unique.
Yes.
But finding other things we can always complement with you with our platform, and that's what we do.
That's wonderful. And, you know, I'm sure there are going to be young students who are watching this in cosmetology school, questioning where they're going to go and trying to either go freelance immediately. And I know that there are a lot of young people that would the dream of doing what both of you are doing, to have the creative outlet of the editorial world, the freelance world, going from entertainment into all the different venues that you go into. And I know that it does not come easy. I know that. So when you're looking at this situation and you're knowing, well, I have a place where I can park for a few hours a day, I think that's really very important because teamwork is still important. You want to feel part of a community. You want to feel part of where you can reach out and have that sharing, which I think is really important. So, Robert, for you, how did you go about building your brand?
For me, it really was one of those things where long before the interval of information and focus came on curly hair, texture just thrilled me. I studied in 22 cities in Brazil, and it was so interesting that everywhere I went in those cities, there was just something new going on. And it just opened my mind to expand and develop and get to know, because it also opened me to really see the reality of what the world is becoming. The flatline, one-dimensional perspective of hair is something that is disappearing. And we really have to get to a place where we know texture in a way where it expands and elevates us as hairstylists. And so the interest in that for me, working with Mazzani, working with Weedad, working with African Pride, all of those different intervals, just the knowledge that I garnered from the experiences elevated my spirit, and it just made me, it just turned something on in me. And you know how you get to that place and you hear people say, I found myself in it? Well, I don't think I found myself in it. I think it found me and chose me. And it really fuels my passion because I get to go in and find things like currently in schools. I believe it is so important that we go in and start to teach elements of texture, because kids are coming out of school with no knowledge about what that represents. I'm currently working on opportunities to go in with a curriculum to be able to support that. So then students can come out and come to Artist on Go with a whole lot more confidence about what they're doing behind the chair, instead of taking just a big step into something that they're not really secure about what's happening.
And you know, one of the things that I'm enjoying about listening to both of you is that you exude happiness. And I know you've had your highs and your lows, as all of us have, but when you create that happy place within yourself, it's very seductive. People want to be around happy, smiley people. And yes, you can do all the posts you like on Instagram and you can do all that clever stuff. But at the end of the day, eye to eye, smile to smile, behind the mask, is so important. And the fact that the world that you live in is a challenging world. The editorial freelance world is very challenging because, as Gregory said, you don't know where the next paycheck is coming. And loyalty sometimes can be thin in that arena because there are so many people wanting your job, right? And so the fact that you have found the balance with Artists on Go is really powerful to me. And I think it's encouraging for those who are listening. So DM, right now, you're obviously in Manhattan, but are you in other cities around the United States?
Yeah, so I think we are in Manhattan and Brooklyn right now. But we have top 10 cities on our radar, Miami, LA, San Francisco. But if you're watching the show, if you feel like your city needs a place, please and go and contact and shoot us an email, and we are listening. That's what we do best. Listen to you.
So speaking to anybody out there, Robert, who is thinking, I'd like to be independent, and as Gregory said, fear is a big factor here. What advice would you give to them? What are the benefits of being an independent?
Being independent gives you an opportunity to always discover. Sometimes success lives within you, but you stand on top of the building and you're afraid to jump. And my thing is, as I share with students, don't be afraid to jump. You may hit the side of buildings on your way down, but eventually you're going to land and understand that there's something that's going to support your footing. So for me, when I look at people in that experience right now, fear is something that drives you to the passion of success.
Yeah, powerful. And Gregory, what would you say to people who are looking to really build their business, especially in the time of COVID, where we're faced with so many challenges? And I think there's never been a time more when people need to feel that they're seen and there's a connection there. What advice would you give?
So the advice that I would give, Vivienne, is something that I'm practicing myself right now. And that is, I keep hearing this reset that everybody's going through, whether it be cleaning out your cabinets and doing all this stuff, just that feeling of pause and reflection. So what I'm doing right now is I'm redreaming again. Like when I went to hair school, I had all of these dreams, and I've had vision board after vision board and have ripped so many things off of the vision board that have happened. But then there's something that happens as you hit cruise control on your career, whether it's you get, a clientele that you're doing the same things again and again and again, and you want more, but you don't know how to get there. Or you want to start your own business, but you don't have any business savvy and you don't know where to start, but you know that on the other side of doing that is a dream come true for you. What I'm doing right now is redreaming. And I think it's a perfect opportunity to say, that's what was, and this is what I used to want. And this is what it can look like now. And these are the steps that I can take to get there. And I don't have to invest $50,000 into a space to rent and rebuild because I don't have that money right now. And I don't have to carry the insurance and do this and do that. And what if my chairs sit empty? And what retail is going to come on the shelf? Oh my gosh, they can buy it on Amazon. There's so many things that go through your mind when you're thinking of running a business. And for me, one of the dreams I've always dreamed of is having my own salon, but I don't want to manage people. So what if I can go into 20 different salons and that's my salon for the day, and that chair is my business for the day, and I have the freedom to create and touch my guests again and be inspired by the artists that are in the room with me, and just get back to that feeling of oh yeah, that's why I'm a damn hairdresser, because I get to do what I want with the education and knowledge I have, and I get to move up. One of the biggest challenges for me working in a commissioned salon was they always put out a piece of paper that says So here's your cap. So if you sell this much and if you do this much in service, you're going to structure between here and here. And that's it. And then we'll bump you up, but you're eventually going to cap off. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to cap off every year. I want to keep going. I want to move up, right? And so for me right now, dreaming is essential and redreaming is essential right now to figure out where I want to take my business next and how can I use tools and platforms to help me get there.
Excellent.
Vivienne, could I add just a little something to that? I so support and honor what you just said, Gregory, because what Artist on Go has allowed me to do is to edit myself so that I could really reset and see where my dream is and start to move and focus toward that where I am now. Because I keep seeing that the person that I am 6 months ago is not the same person I am today. So it allows me to take that big gigantic breath and edit myself so that I could see my dreams move forward in a clear capacity.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So, Robert, how do you build your salon client business? What's your strategy with your whole freelance world that you have, which means you're all over the place, right? How do you build that side of your business, your salon business?
That side of my business seemingly supports itself because right now curly hair is the major focus in our industry. And for me, what seems to happen is that I am on a list. I'm on the board at WeDot. So they go there and they find my name and then they reach out to me. And also, I have to say, when you have a curly girl who leaves your salon happy because they've left 90% of the baggage they've traveled with all of their entire lives, they become your greatest cheerleader. And I can't tell you how many doors that's really opened for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. And when you look at how to build that long-term business, creating that magic, you know, I'm a real stickler for the consultation because I believe it's the gatekeeper of meeting the client where she lives. So I'd like to know what your strategy is regarding that. Gregory.
Oh, go ahead, Gregory.
Oh,
yeah.
So
Sorry.
my strategy regarding client consultation.
Yes, and how you keep the clients. What's your strategy around that?
Well, I think service above all is something that gets dropped, especially when you're making a house call, especially when you're not able to accommodate everybody at the same time, and especially now in COVID where we can't offer beverages, where we can't hand them a magazine and all that stuff. So for me, it's when I get to work with the client, the service that I'm offering has to be the service that I love and the service that I want every single time. And that also comes through Artists on Go. With the concierge service that Artists on Go has, when I feel the most taken care of and protected, the better work that I do. Like when I know my boss has got my back 150%, I am able to show up and deliver work that feels unhinged, that feels free. And with Artists on Go, as a stylist, they're helping me. If anything goes wrong with the booking, if I can't find the right salon, they're going to say, we know your personality. Hold on, let me look. We've got 4 for you. What part of town do you want to work in? And I want to make sure that when the guest comes into my seat, they get that service that they're used to wherever they go, and they're never, ever, ever going to be not taken care of in my seat.
Beautiful, beautiful. Robert, how do your clients respond to the different salons that you've been in?
My clients are thrilled because it kind of gives them the opportunity to expand and see the part of the city that they just don't allow themselves to engage. And what I like about the experiences in different salons is that the settings provide an opportunity for me to give that experience no matter where I am that cultivates that long-term love between me and my client, that she understands no matter where I am or where she has to meet me or she's required to meet me, that it's going to be a standard of service. And I think that's the thing for me, that it provides the most comfort for me, because you do go into experiences and booth rentals, and those booth rentals, depending on who's in that experience, they change. And when you go into Artist on Go, for instance, my very first experience with them was so overwhelming for me that it elevated my experience for my client, because I literally had someone meet me at that salon who welcomed me into the experience, introducing me to the other stylists, which made me feel like I was a part of the environment.
Can I jump in there too? Like, that's what my experience was as well. And I haven't been in a salon forever. And when I was greeted by the front desk girl, she had no clue who I was. I was like, oh my God, again, chills. But then when my guest arrived, you would have thought that this guest that was new to their salon had been coming in there for 25 years and was queen. It was such a magical experience. And then in the break room with the team, when hairdressers are magic human beings. Everybody, well, here's half of my locker if you need it for the day. I'm like, what? It was incredible. And I agree. It made me elevate my game. I was like, well, I better get that straight line today.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine with both of you walking into a salon, I mean, you bring in sunshine, your energy, your professionalism, your success. I mean, who wouldn't want to be around that? I'm a great believer in rubbing shoulders with greatness. And I always like to be the dumbest one in the room. That way I can always learn. So yes, I would be so excited to see. And I would imagine, let's talk to the salon owner for the moment. There isn't a salon out there that doesn't have a chair that's not doing something, right? And to have a positive person like you coming into their space, adding energy, I can see how it would be a boost for the salon stylist, because there's new energy there. And I can also see that you would encourage people to lift up their game, because human behavior is contagious. And it's infectious when you've got great positive energy there. So yeah, I want to come and play with both of you guys. It's amazing. So I
want to add on here. You are so right. When not only when these people go to these hairstylists, including Gregory and Robert, the salon owners calls us and say, they lifted our entire mood and team and energy in the salon. I mean, they love to see them again and again and again, and just use them. It's a great relationship where nobody's burdened on each other, and we enjoy the professional courtesy, and both parties get paid and happy.
Which is beautiful. Well, part of our relationship of Hair Designer TV, being a partner with Artists on Go, is that we want to support the artists and make the education affordable. And for those of you who are not aware, Hair Designer TV is an encyclopedia of information. We have 1,000 videos that we're always adding to. And so we want to be able to support the independent as well as the salon in offering grassroots education courses, certification programs to really empower. So I'm thrilled that we get to play together, because on the one hand, the artist has got to have a good environment to work in. And the second thing is confidence, true confidence comes from education. And developing your authentic self where you can shine and be the best version of you is so beautiful. Don't copy anybody else. Take the inspiration from these guys, but find your authentic voice and be true to yourself. When we finish this session, which we're going to come to an end in a few moments, we're going to open it up for some questions. But when you think about tonight, ask yourself, if I keep doing what I'm doing, will I get to my goal? What do I need to shift and change or remove? Or who needs to enter my life to mentor me and guide me so I can get closer to my goals? I started off this presentation tonight by saying, design your lifestyle first. and reverse your career into it. Because by doing that, you'll determine how much money you want to make. Where do relationships sit within your lifestyle? Does travel become part of your lifestyle? For some of you, the idea of what these gentlemen do, getting on planes and flying around the world and every day a new job, a new situation, could be intimidating and daunting. And oh my gosh, I don't even know how to pack a suitcase. But for these guys, they thrive on that. They thrive. And I have to say, guys do tend to take less clothes than us girls.
4 suitcases, 1 hair kit, and skincare, shoes, and clothing. No.
Not in the case of Gregory. I think he carries more.
You have a suitcase just with your shoes, I'm sure.
For skincare. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
You're adorable. You're adorable. So tonight, I want you to think about this. If you could take Post-it notes, go to Staples and get some Post-it notes, right? Get them color coordinated so that the pink represents financial, the green represents how you play in life, the blue represents how much money you want to make. Get these Post-it notes, and for each Post-it note, write an idea of this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. Write down how much money you want, write how many hours you want to work in a day, how many days in the week. What are your goals that support the lifestyle that you want? And then you reverse your career into it. Because we all pay a price. Very often you give up to go up. And for me, interviewing some of the greatest hairdressers in the world, and I've got 2 great hairdressers here tonight, they've all made sacrifices in order to get the spoils. And the big message is enjoy the journey, because the journey is a long journey, hopefully. And the victories are a few seconds. The victory is another few seconds. The victory is another few seconds. When you think about the hour service, whether it be a haircut that you're doing, a color service, that is a journey. And when she is finished or he is finished, and that smile and that gratitude is really a small percentage of the time, that's your reward. The finance is the reward, and that smile on their face is the reward. That smile and the paying may be 3 or 4 minutes, but the journey to get there is what you need to enjoy. And you need to be in an environment that supports all that you are. So it's like a plant. If you're put in the right soil with the right amount of sunlight and the right amount of water, you will flourish. But if you put that plant in the wrong soil, in the wrong environment, it will wither and die. And my question to you is, are you thriving or are you not? And tonight, if nothing else, we've given you some great ideas as a salon owner and also an independent to rethink and reset, a common word that we're hearing, and ask yourself, how am I going to redesign my life? And these incredible gentlemen are bold and brave, and they're living it because they are clear about what they want and they're going for it. And I'm so thrilled. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to you for being here tonight. And I just keep on smiling, because look at those beautiful smiles.
No, thank you for having us. I mean, I'm all day today just getting to share this space with you. I've been freaking out all day. Robert is just a love bucket. I love this man. I want to work next to him. DM is brilliant, and the team at Artists on Go. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Vivienne, for having us. And I will say, all the people who are watching this show, I have worked in 12 countries and some of the best hairdressers and trainers, and seeing how the industry has changed. Vivienne and her education is really giving back to the artist community. If you have not tried, if you have not explored that, I know hairdressers from Paris, from London, from Dubai, from India, from US, LA. This is something special. If you have not gone to the platform, I would try it, see some videos. It's very, very, very special. I encourage you.
Well, thank you.
And I will end this by saying one of my favorite phrases is that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And thank you for appearing tonight, Vivienne. I've quite enjoyed you. Greg, I've quite enjoyed you. And DM, I've quite enjoyed you. Thank you so much for the experience.
Robert and Gregory, you guys are wonderful. I mean, you're icons, and people should definitely, you're showing the path for a lot of students and other people who have been struggling to take a right decision. I mean, I think it's such a guiding force you are.
And Robert, seeing as you spent so much time in Brazil, I need to meet you on the dance floor.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, indeed. All night long.
All night long. Come on now. Yes. I'll film it.
Yeah, really. Well, we do a big send of love to you all. I hope that this has added value to your life. Please reach out to your friends and just say, gosh, there was an amazing presentation. Do check it out, because I know that many of you are really busy right now, but do check this out. Do share with your friends. And we look forward to seeing you on the next show here. And lots and lots of love. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.